Radiant team ban. Red team ban. Radiant team pick.
Give it a second, guys. It always takes a little bit for the Dota to come up, but hey, there it is. Guys, welcome to the SA qualifiers for ESL One Hamburg 2017. Again, going to bring you this South American gauntlet of games. There are some that we can't cover in English, but I'm sure there are other streams. I am positive of that fact. But right now, this is what's important. We got SG Esports going up against Team Unknown. I'm Mike Loris, going to be bring you through this game along with General Jivicus, half Sith Master, half Butler. Dude, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty awesome, dude. I'm really excited for this.
I don't have casters muted in Dota 2, so I'm gonna twice. 1 second. All right, go.
Yo, I'm obviously super excited for this South American Dota. It's always very fast. It's always very fighty. I'm really hyped. Looking forward to see what SG Esports can do here against the Team Unknown.
I do applaud Team Unknown for staying consistent with being unknown. What kind of team has two people with no name? Like, what the hell is this, man? This is weird. So I have no idea who these people are because, well, they're not really helping us. But we have seen a lot of SG in all the qualifiers. Like, there are like 4 tournaments running right now. It seems like SG Esports are in all of them and slaughtering all of them. So I'm looking at the teams right now in the SA qualifier bracket, and it's going to be hard for many of these teams to match up against SGE. DCSA, probably another one of those big ones.
Yeah, and I mean that's the other bracket that will be. We'll see that tomorrow. Who plays DCSC, and the winners from this one go on to play. Is it Star Gaming or something?
Yeah.
But I mean, already if you look at the picks that SG Esports have picked up, you got a Lich and a Spirit Breaker, like right out of the bag. I mean, this talks domination. I mean, they have picked up the Bat Rider on the other side. But I mean, already, I mean, strong favorites I'd say going into this is going to be SG Esports.
It's hard to go against the Lich, right? Like, there's a reason why this hero is banned out in so many games. I feel like there's so many games where you have a game where Lich just dominates everything and your team is massively ahead in golden experience, and there's like one game where the Lich just gets picked off one too many times. And I mean, maybe it's this game because Unknown, they're going for a lot of pickoff power. Tusk, Bat, and Bloodseeker, like no team fight, just single targets. So for sure it's possible for Unknown to get around that experience gap with this Lich, but it does seem kind of concerning that Unknown are kind of going all in this strat. What do you think?
10 seconds.
Well, I mean, one thing to look at is the bans that have already come out for both teams. Majority of Cancer heroes are not going to be here. I think SG Esports needs to pick up some other items to heroes to counter the Bloodseeker. Some kiteability there, but he's not particularly strong on his own. And with the Lich shutting down one of their safe lane carries, it should be interesting. The rest of the picks obviously will dictate the game. We'll see probably the core now, I would think, for SG Esports, or maybe their offlaner.
Yeah.
Do you see Bloodseeker being mid here, or safe lane?
It's kind of dangerous to put the Bloodseeker mid like this early. First of all, like, they have last pick, so they definitely will have the flexibility to put the Bloodseeker mid if they need to. But I think you could assume for right now that Bloodseeker is safe lane, Batrider's off lane, Tusk is going to be doing Tusk things everywhere. But yeah, it just matchup wise, like, it's very easy to stop a Bloodseeker. It's very easy to crush a Bloodseeker, in fact, in lane. You just have to make sure to keep him at like that 1/2, kind of 1/3 mark of HP, and then just be able to keep him down. And then he's really going to be scared to get close to that creep wave. Brewmaster, the pick though for SGE. I mean, I said Unknown going all in on this kind of single target pick off style, and Brewmaster, is the anti single target pick-off hero. You can't kill him off unless you
10
commit like
seconds
everything.
remaining.
And even then, it's you might not get him. You know,
Mhm.
he might get split off. He might get the earth out of there, and then it doesn't matter. You don't manage to achieve it. He's really difficult as well. Offlane versus Bloodseeker with the mischance. So Bloodseeker wants to rage to last hit his creeps. He can't hit last hit the creeps because the drunken brawler, haze. I think that's probably going to be their offlane pick there. I don't know if HFN or 4DR. I don't know if either of them will play core. I'm not sure.
Uh, I think it's likely that for SG they just want that matchup versus the Bloodseeker. Like they'll feel it out, see where they think the Bloodseeker is gonna go, and try to match the Brewmaster up against the Blood in that lane. Because as you said, that haze is absolutely crippling, and Brew can always trade hits with the Bloodseeker favorably, with or without an additional hero in the Lich for the extra armor and experience gain, of course, or even the Spirit Breaker gank. So I think for SGE, they're just going to kind of play musical lanes with this one, at least for right now, kind of leave it open to see where this Bloodseeker is in fact going. But Brewmaster aside, it's going to give a lot of teamfight power to SG Esports, and we'll see what hero they want to pick up for their safe lane. Again, I don't imagine the Brewmaster is going to be going there. Anti-Batrider heroes, there are quite a few of them.
Radiant team pick.
Rubik, though, is the pick right now for Unknown. Brewmaster, Lich, they have some pretty primo spells to steal.
Well, I mean, the ult obviously from Lich is nice. Brewmaster split could be good. The Drunken Haze also good. Spirit Breaker's Nether Strike can be quite amusing as well. The charge, but I mean,
5
nothing yet
seconds
that says Enigma Black Hole or I mean,
Mhm.
Lich is almost on that, but the BKB maybe not so much.
Well, Rubik combos with Tusk is not that spectacular. We do see Rubik's picked up occasionally. I would say, like, definitely one of the more uncommon support heroes nowadays. I love me some Rubik with an AA, who actually still is in the pool, not really a possibility in this game. But, that combo actually lets Rubik be aggressive. And that's really, like, one of the big downfalls of the hero is that you can't be truly aggressive unless you have, a hero that enables you. And I'm not really sure if Tusk is that hero. I'm not sure if they'll have enough damage to bring these heroes down to let Bloodseeker kick into high gear. So I'm concerned that Unknown, unless they get like the most nuts initiation possible with this Batrider consistently, will have difficulty just outputting enough damage.
Dire team
I mean, the
back.
call's still there, and so is okay.
Arc Warden. That's really dangerous up against a Bloodseeker and a Batrider. Like, Arc Warden's great at grinding down the map, just slowly pushing into the Unknown
10
side, and if you can
seconds
keep
remaining.
yourself away from those two heroes, yeah, he's really powerful. But, yeah, so this is certainly something that Unknown can definitely punish, an Arc Warden pick.
I just wonder if they're going to play it in mid or play it on the safe lane. I can imagine that's pretty. I mean, Lich is going to have to be in and around the safe lane anyway. So that, I mean, probably to start off with. So that's where the creep denial is going to really have the big effect.
Yeah.
Should
Arc
be against
Warden is
Batrider.
a pretty good matchup up against the Batrider offensively, but defensively he doesn't have all that much game. Like, the way Batrider functions in lane is just fly around very aggressively by himself most of the time, so you guarantee the spirits to land, you guarantee Flux to do some damage. But again, the problem with that is that you're running with support crew of Lich and Spirit Breaker, not like a Rubik type hero, not an Earth Spirit type hero, so actually killing off the Batrider might be a little bit difficult. I still think Arc Warden safe Brew mid is a decent assumption here for SGEs. The puck is going to be banned out. We've seen a lot of offlane puck nowadays.
Radiant team
Quap
pick.
as well. Going to be
That's
taken
interesting.
out.
I was going to say either Quap or Tinker would be a pickup for Unknown for mid. South Americans do love their Tinker. What about for SG Esports? Their final pick now. I mean, they're pretty well rounded, as is. The Arc Warden's a little bit flaky as far as
5 seconds
pick
remaining.
off, anti-pick off potential is concerned. But the rest of the team, plus the Arc Warden together, I mean, you could split push and whatnot. I mean, I still feel they need something.
Dire
Nyx.
Yeah, let's have a look and see.
Damn it. I was so convinced that it was going to be a Nyx, man. So convinced. But Ember Spirit and then immediately an OD afterwards. So for SG, they give ADR the Ember Spirit. For at least right now, they may swap it up. But mid lane matchup up against this guy playing the OD. Ember Spirit is going to give them a little bit of extra control, which is what I was going to say, like, is one of the major downsides of what SG Esports are running with right now. Not really that many hard disables, but as far as scalability, as far as map mobility, SG, they can definitely dance circles around the Unknown side, despite Unknown having a Bat Rider and a Bloodseeker and a Tusk.
I honestly seen this being a 1-3-1 from SG Esports. Like, honestly, like, I think Spirit Breaker's going to be near mid all the time, and Lich is going to have to kind of, like, because there's no way ADR can beat this OD in mid. Like,
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Well, I just think he's going to get, like, every time he wants the last hit, he's going to get imprisoned, and that's going to be that.
It's certainly a tough matchup. It's really hard to land a charge on an OD. The Tusk can, have some questionable matchups in the mid lane, but for sure, walling off an Ember Spirit, who is not exactly super bulky, even with the Poor Man Shield, is a possibility there for Unknown. I feel like you're probably right. Like, even a Spirit Breaker doesn't go to the lane, even if it's just ADR with a couple of rituals from the Lich, like, they can still grind out the lane to some extent, like, make sure that the that OD is underleveled, and underleveled OD is not really all that scary. Plus, it's ADR. The guy is actually insane, so it is very possible that he just busts out some crazy stuff, and it's impossible to tell if it's just one of his good days. I've seen this guy do just insane things, but either way, both sides smoking out, and doesn't look like we're going to have much in the way of head-on collision. Actually, Bardinho and Zool, the duel of the century. Orb of Venom is here, and Lich does not want to level up anything right now. He wants sacrifice. Jeez, that's a lot of damage.
It was like synchronized movement there, both teams smoking, both teams TPing out and getting those wards down. I think probably these guys have played against each other before, so we're going to see the D ward here, I think, from Bardino.
Got him. Now, will they have the same thing on the other end? The Tusk saw the Lich come down from the rune area, so he knows that the Lich was up there for something. The Rubik, though, is a little bit too far away. They blocked that top
camp as well. The actual camp is blocked by the ward, so they will notice it immediately, like after 30 seconds or whatever.
And of course, we got the classic SA pause. Guys, normally we'd be introducing players, and I guess we could introduce SGE. I mean, Bardinho already, the Lich, gonna be handling him. We got Constabile on the Arc Warden ADR. On the Ember Spirit, Theo is on his Spirit Breaker. He plays an absolutely insane SB, and Lepos is on the Brewmaster. I'm just going to finish it, dude, because we got Zool and Red Moon on the Tusk and Bat Rider, and we don't know anyone else on the Unknown side, because, like, what is Rubik's name? What even is this?
One of them was called Draken, and one of them was called Tired, but that's not the names that they're registered with on the old Wikipedia.
I mean, we'll just call them by their hero names. That's what they are now. That is just their existence. But we'll see where this Lich is actually going to go. Right now, of course, after planting down, that Ob's going to hang around this bottom lane first. Arc Warden actually looks like he is matching up versus an off-lane Bloodseeker. Bat Rider's taking to the safe lane. Different moves for sure. I mean, they do kind of want to avoid that Arc Warden versus Bat Rider matchup Unknown, so it is certainly understandable. But Bloodseeker going up against Arc Warden, I'm not really sure if Bloodseeker, even though he does love being in the middle of the creep wave, can really handle this dual lane. At least not by himself.
I think he needs to be really careful that he doesn't get hit with the thing just as he finishes his part of the creep wave. You know, when he's got no one next to him to purge it off, and then he could probably get ganked pretty hard. I think, though, early, I think Bloodseeker probably for the first 3 levels has the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Just from his high last hit damage. What's Arc Warden's base damage?
It's not terrible. Actually, I had no idea Arc Warden's armor was so low.
52. And then you're 66 base already on the Bloodseeker, plus he's going to pick up a Quelling Blade, which is going to put him up to like 80, maybe even 90, plus 24 is it for creeps? And then on top of that he can Rage, which is another 25% damage. So I think the first 3 levels he struggles, and then he's got to be really careful that he doesn't just get taken out by Constable when he takes the last creep in his wave.
Well, he said he'll have an advantage for 3 levels going up against this Lich. Those 3 levels are going to be a lot slower coming in for the Bloodseeker. We have... What's going on? Where are you going, Arc Warden? They are switching up the lanes. They do see the Bat Rider move out on top. But this is going to be, like, really slow of a switch. The longest switch of all time as they just walk to their lanes. So, well, yeah, here's a pretty easy level 1 for the Bloodseeker. The 2v0 lane. The 1v0 on the top lane for Red Moon. So... I mean, it's going to give them a slightly favorable matchup, but at a little bit of an early game cost. I guess we look at this early game mid lane for right now as Theo just beaten into the OD and is going to force that 2v2, at least for right now.
Didn't manage to get the level before you got the Brewmaster rotation completed there for the Bloodseeker.
The Brewmaster's here, though. The level 1 Brew is perfectly fine because Hayes' scaling is still really good. Like, you're still going to get levels of it, but mischance 70. That's all you want, man. That's all you want versus that Bloodseeker. And now with this Lich, this Bloodseeker's lane is pretty dead, so they have to make gains up towards top, where this Arc Warden actually has a lot of napalm on him. Is that a level 1 Bat Rider still? No, he just hits level 2, but into a tower, it's a little bit too risky.
I don't know, 6 stacks, it's tempting.
But there's nothing worse than going for a kill as a Bat Rider with Firefly and then just dying to a tower. There are going to be stick charges, wand charges. Now Arc Warden has the Flux as well. So I feel like their opening for actually going for this Arc Warden has maybe not completely closed, but is very rapidly closing.
Bloodseeker having a really bad time on the bottom lane here against the Brewmaster. Under his tower, 10% health.
That's what we said during the draft. Like, for SGE, they pick up the Brewmaster. Really, all they want is for him to have this matchup. There's not much that the Bloodseeker can do here. I haven't been looking really closely to what the Lich has been doing, but I assume most, if not all, the sacrifices have been going towards this bottom lane as well. So this Bloodseeker is in for a pretty sad time, and over in the mid lane, ADR, yeah, I mean, shouldn't really have this much of an advantage, but is crushing it CS-wise. Oh yeah, this Arc Warden is going to be now caught in the Firefly, but they take out the Bloodseeker in the meantime. And I missed First Blood. Fantastic. Charge coming in, giving him a little bit extra space. They get the lift up, throw him back into the Firefly. Not quite enough to kill him off. One more right click from the Rubik. Not going to do it. One more will. But Theo's going to clean up everyone else in the meantime. A 3-for-1 across the map in favor of SG. Theo coming in like a friggin' superhero. And that is going to be, yes, costly to lose your Arc Warden, but for SG Esports, well worth it.
It was a bloodbath. I forgive you for missing the Bloodseeker First Blood. There was three
Yeah.
people dying there.
I assume they just got him with the clap, and then
he tried to silence, and they just kind of chased him down.
Yeah.
It was really quick. There was nothing exciting. He tried to silence, and then the silence hit, and then they got a right click from the Lich, and that was that.
Well, such is life for an offlane Bloodseeker, but you know, that's also the reservations they have about going for this Arc Warden on this top lane, because he does have so many spells that punish dives, especially Bat Rider style dives where he's all alone flying at you. Like, actually going for him ever is fairly risky. Theo, in the meantime, is going to be battling up against this Rubik. Level 3 Spirit Breaker right now, lands a Greater Bash. ADR kind of getting killed, but is also killing the OD. Isn't going to go into the tower. Theo is going to drive the Rubik all the way to his own tower, but now they got the Red Moon in the Flux. They're going to snowball in. I don't think that's a good idea. That's a really bad idea, because he has a lot of backup. Spirit's going to drop. There is no more Flux, but there's a short-range charge onto Red Moon. A couple of right clicks, and the Spirits to cut off the retreat path will get them that kill. Zool, you may have done goofed, and now you're going to take a Greater Bash for your troubles. Flux is there, as well as another Ghost to come in. Another kill. for this top lane of SGE, and over in mid, well, ADR is dead, and that's going to be great for Unknown, but this top lane is a disaster area.
Charge on mid. I think he's going to block it off.
Going to taunt away. Pretty standard stuff there for Spirit Breakers nowadays. You got to make sure to jam that taunt button. I'm not really sure why ADR was sticking around that mid lane at like 10 HP. Obviously up against a Bloodseeker, you're not really going to be having any secrets there.
Well, you're helping the Bloodseeker as well, so it's you know, it's not that useful. You don't want to lose XP though, but that's level 6 already on the OD. That's level 6 now for the OD.
ADR is going to grab his level 6 as well. There is a Tusk here. Not all that great in walling off ADR. In fact, he's going to triple commit onto the OD. Snowball a little bit slow. And now Zul's going to get roasted. Not quite dead. Oh, he's actually going to get killed by the Rubik throw-in. Okay, that maybe wasn't the play. And Rubik's also going to lose his life as Spirit Breaker. 74 base damage. Where you at? Gets 2 more kills. I mean, I said Theo was an absolute monster on this hero before. I was not lying. 3-0-5, 6 minutes in, is way above average for a Spirit Breaker. And yeah, he's kind of like cleaning up after his allies. But, man, a high-level Spirit Breaker just does so much damage, as we can already see.
Well, 80% kill participation so far.
It's pretty good. And this is also leaving the Posa on this bottom lane by himself. Already has that Soul Ring. He has the split available. While there's this free of a lane, you don't really want to leave it. But if his hand is forced, like with that Soul Ring, he will always have enough mana for that split, really no matter what. So, yeah, Unknown, they really have to be reserved in their dives. Like, up towards top lane, they would love to go for this Arc Warden. There's no Rupture on the Bloodseeker, though, and Arc Warden is, well, still going to get sharded. Not quite. Oh, and they kill Red Moon in the meantime. Look away for literally 1 second, and they get the kill on this bottom lane hero. Nice.
Yeah, they try to rotate the lanes, you know, to try and get Bloodseeker to catch up a little bit, and then as soon as Batrider gets down there, it gets charged in and Bruce split into Oblivion.
Man, there's so few games where you get to see Brewmaster really far ahead, simply because Brew mid isn't really a thing anymore. But if you do get a fast Blink Dagger on Brewmaster, he gets those auras, an optional Aghanim Scepter, like, you can actually just destroy heroes without exception. And Leposa safe lane Brewmaster on top of the net worth chart. In fact, everyone from SG bar this Lich are on top of the net worth chart. Spirit Breaker is level 6 and he's just getting all the kills, so he's filthy rich.
Yeah, there's no doubt that SG Esports have definitely gotten way more out of the map in the first sort of 8 minutes or so here, with a 3k advantage already in net worth.
Theo now is moving up towards top lane. This is so difficult for Unknown to actually make any plays. It does feel like it's kind of Rupture or bust right now. Like, even a Lasso won't really do enough to start these engagements, so they just kind of have to wait for this Bloodseeker to get a couple of levels. And that's all well and good, but this top lane with Theo camping out is far from safe. Even over in this mid lane, ADR is playing he's playing an Axe Spirit right now, just cutting the mid lane, jumps out, safe as can be, and Ozul up towards top lane does have a snowball to save himself a little bit of this flex damage. He's going to snowball towards the neutrals, which are pulled out somehow, but there's another strike already up. That's the power of a high-level Spirit Breaker. Again, the telekinesis doesn't exactly do them any favors, because there are going to be more flexes, more spirits. Rubik going to try to teleport out, but again, there's too much damage. Now another charge onto the Bloodseeker. What can a level 5 Bloodseeker do here? Absolutely nothing. He's going to die as well. 2 more heroes coming in, but I'm not really sure if they can get anything here. Not much. Maybe this Spirit Breaker, is that a tight wall? It gives them just enough vision to snowball in. He does still have a charge out, though. And Eclipse, though.
Nope.
It's going to cut him down. They get 1, but they lose a hell of a lot.
I mean, huge kill though. 3 kill streak ended. I mean, 400 gold going the way of OD. Chunk of XP as well. I think it's not worth overall, but I mean, for OD, it's definitely worth. That TP paid off.
Bardino just chain frosted the bottom creep wave. Like, there were no heroes anywhere nearby. He just chain frosted the creep wave. I'm not really sure, but they take down the tower in the meantime. That 1 kill for the OD is going to catapult him to the top of the net worth chart, which is great for him if he's able to actually stay involved, stay alive, and get these kills. But Force Staff not going for the greedier build and something like a Midas, which is definitely an option in this type of game when you know you're very far behind. You got to make some pretty desperate moves. I mean, at least they have the Rupture up now for Unknown, but still, SG, they haven't even started playing with this Brewmaster. Like, Leposa hasn't even gotten started with his game plan.
Ember Spirit's going Veil build, with a magic damage build, so it should be interesting to see whether or not he picks up the Radiance on top of that. He's finished his Veil, actually.
Veil, maybe like Veil Travels. There is a decent usage for like a defensive Yule Scepter for ADR, so that's not too bad either. But with an Arc Warden, having Travels on the Ember Spirit is, I mean, first of all, just like normal. It's not too weird, but also should get them like all this additional global map presence. So yeah, I think it's Veil Travels, and Radiance is okay here up against Bloodseeker and OD. But it's also going to be SG, who I think will be in a position that they know they're going to be ahead. So there's no point for them to go for like a super expensive item and take that dip in power level while they're farming the relic.
Well, I don't know if he'll stop to farm it. I just wonder if that's his item progression. But yeah, Travels is going to be his next item after that Veil for sure. He's had brown boots obviously since minute 3, so he wants to get them finished up.
Oh, they got the Arc Warden at least. Ruptured, lassoed, and dead on the bottom lane, and a snowball for good measure. That's quite nice, but the Midas is already up for the Arc Warden. I think he had that, died, picked it up, and this is where the game is just going to start getting troublesome for Unknown. Again, they haven't yet had to deal with the Brewmaster, who at this point does have enough cash for the Blink Dagger, and now they have to face up against the Arc Warden with double Midases. Without having their ultimates for another 30, it's not the hugest opening here for SG, but again, if this Brewmaster sees someone, they are just going to go ahead and go for them. Theo is going to be spotted by Red Moon, and then he'll just stand there. And here comes the charge. They are going to go towards a Bat Rider with no mana. Snowball is going to interrupt, but the Nether Strike is still going to land with the split there. They'll kill him off and look for more. Storm Aspect moving forward, and the Ember Spirit is here as well. Double Fire Pandas in this game. They'll take down Zool, and they'll purge down the OD. He'll fall into still a little bit of a split. Rest of the split, though, is going to go towards the Rubik. Rock Clap dead. OD, in the meantime, fighting versus everyone by himself. Won't quite cut it. Brewmaster will eventually be brought down by the Bloodseeker. But again, for like the 3rd or 4th time in a row, SG Esports only lose one guy in exchange for 4. Theo is going to charge away. He'll be just fine. Man, just bloodbath after bloodbath, and that's going to give Arc Warden a lot of space in the bottom lane in the meantime.
I mean, they're not making the most of their the kills they've been getting. Like, tier 1 top is down, tier 1 bottom is down. I mean, I feel like there's more objectively they could be doing with the time afterwards. You know, when they've got 4 heroes down on the enemy team, one of their guys down, now it's time to get something done.
It's hard for Unknown to get stuff done when they're losing not 1 but 2 heroes across the map.
No, not Unknown. Not Unknown,
yeah.
SG Sports.
And for, I mean, yeah, it's hard for Unknown, but for SG, why would you take objectives when you can just keep killing the enemies? Like, they're all bags of gold. I mean, obviously they do want to take objectives eventually, but it does seem like Unknown are making it a little bit too easy for SG to get these kills, that it's like, why would we go for towers when we could just kill you? Theo has been getting so many greater bashes. Yet another one. Red Moon is going to be charged in. Rupture is going to be thrown out on the Spirit Breaker, but he's going to get out of the circle. He'll be fine now. Here comes ADR. Chains down 2. Bat Rider on the low ground technically will be dropped. And yeah, I mean, you can go for objectives, I guess, but from where I'm standing, man, it looks like this is going to be one of those morale wins from the SG side. Oh no, Rubik. This is like the last thing you want to see as a Rubik. You place down a ward, see an Ember Spirit and a Spirit Breaker. That feels bad.
It just died there 40 seconds ago. Feels bad, man. Exact same way, exact same place.
And they're pinging it also, so I think they might know that there's an obs there. I mean, do they care? I don't even know if they care. Like, they are just crushing absolutely everyone. Honestly, though, oh god, another one? No, okay. This time, Zool will survive. When Leposa has another split, Red Moon's Blink Dagger is not too far away. But again, I'm concerned that Unknown, even if they do get this initiation off onto this one guy, they don't have enough actual damage to kill them off. Split, as the Brewmaster is going to drive the Bloodseeker away. Theo's Rupture is slowly but surely timing out as Brewmaster single-handedly going to push everyone back, get the lift up onto the Batrider with the Cyclone. Purge is there. It's Dispel Magic, technically, in case you guys are wondering. The charge is going to be dodged by the Snowball, but just buying time for ADR to make his arrival in. Nether Strike goes out onto Red Moon, gets an extra Greater Bash because Theo just rolls like that. And now Zool is going to get imprisoned. He should be fine for a little while, but the OD might not even survive that encounter. Another charge, another Greater Bash! I mean, yeah, SG Esports are just running rampant on Unknown right now, but also the Spirit Breaker has OS Frog's blessing for sure. Every single charge actually has been followed up with a Greater Bash, like 100% of the time, not even joking. And now they're looking for the clean sweep, Bloodseeker Blade Mail. Yeah, good luck getting value out of that. He's just fast enough to get out of range of the clap, but he is not dangerous enough to get anything back here, so... Oh, man. Yeah, just look at the net worth chart. I mean... Picture says 1,000 words, right?
Well, I mean, what was it? Plus 3k at 8 minutes. 8 minutes later, it's another plus 10k on top of that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a GG being called really quite, you know, anytime soon. But, I mean, there's potential. They're South Americans. They don't like to give up, you know? And these guys, they're Peruvians, so, I mean, they doubly don't like to give up. So we might get to see... I mean, it only takes, like, you know, 20 kills or so, and they're back in the game.
Maybe a good pickoff on someone, even just like this quote-unquote support Spirit Breaker or ADR, who would be like a viable pickoff if he didn't have a haste rune, although they do get the lift up. They need a lasso like right now. A little bit too late. Theo's going to give, again, more room with that charge, and Zool cannot seal the deal here. Off in the back, it's the Lich. He got ruptured, but he has invisibility thanks to an amulet. Thinking about throwing out that Chain Frost will now ditch it, and it will just wreck everybody. OD luckily will survive, but he knows 4-steps down to the Brewmaster. Oh no, Leposa with the right clicks now has the split. I think the Snowball, yeah, it was targeting him, and that is not going to work out well for the Tusk. Got the Storm Panda pushing forward with the Windwalk. They do see the Bloodseeker Cyclone, not in time. Actually, went over towards the Batrider, who's going to fall into a Spooky Spirit from the Arc Warden, who is also still in this game. Triple kill for Leposa. Honestly, if Teal disconnected right now, I'm pretty sure SG Esports will still have just a monstrous advantage. They don't need the split push nor the damage of the Arc Warden at this stage. And Theo is thinking about going for a Bloodseeker. He has drums, he has Urn. If he had one more hero here, any hero, can kill off this Bloodseeker or kill off this Rubik. I've seen this before. This has happened, and it did not end well for the Rubik. Charge, Greater Bash? No, Echo Saber. Okay, well, you know, there are brew games where you're just trying to get your Blink Dagger, and then there are brew games where you go for a right-click Echo Saber build because you can.
Because you already have your Blink Dagger.
Yeah. Okay, well... 15k lead for SGE, and Leposa, I wonder how much actually, you get a guaranteed crit first, you get the clap. I wonder how much actual burst damage Leposa has right now. Like,
let me have a look.
It's a lot of damage. I mean, clap is 300, you get a double hit, which is like another 400, of course with armor. Well, if the clap misses, it doesn't matter. They're still going to charge in towards the OD. Gets the Imprison, cancels the charge, but the Rubik is going to be left behind. The Arc Warden is going to shred him. The Rubik dies for the, oh my god, 9th time. What can you do about this? This is tough, man.
So like 300 to 625 or something? Depending on if he gets a crit or not.
Well, that's pretty good. I would say that is pretty high. I mean, there's, like, I guess a Blade Mail on the Bloodseeker, so he has an armor item. Theo apparently can taunt while charging. Gonna charge the Bloodseeker, and the snowball coming in is a bad move, Zool. ADR is going to arrive, gets the Walrus Punch onto Theo, but they can't actually seal the deal there. In the meantime, the Postage is right-clicking Rubik's in the background, now splits onto the OD. They also take down 2 and looking for a third. Imprisoned gonna pop him out. He has the Shrine, but up against 4 heroes, is that really gonna work? He's not dying. It's taking him a very long time to go down, but you know what? We have extra Arc Wardens coming in. Ember Spirit is ruptured in silence. Doesn't matter. Red Moon's going to arrive. Also doesn't matter. Another 4 kill and a GG called.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I
Dire's middle tower has
mean,
The mountain was too high to climb. Like,
yeah.
Radiant victory.
It's not. This is one of those games where it's like you can look at the draft, you can look at the lanes, but at the end of the day, this type of convincing win is most of the time caused by just a mechanics victory, as in
I
SG
agree.
Esports in their raw mechanics are on a higher level than Unknown. What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree. It's all about them getting way more out of the map. Lich would have helped it a little bit. You know, you've got to bear in mind the Lich was there, but I think mechanically, yeah, SG Esports are the better team at the moment.
Well, that of course means for Unknown, they're down 1 game, and though that may be the case, that mechanics is going to go in SG Esports' favor. That just means that for Unknown, you have to outdraft, you have to out-strategize, dare I say it, you have to out-cheese. You have to do something a little bit drastic, because this is clearly not going to work out if you try to play your standard game. So, yeah, we're going to go into game 2, guys. After this performance, I'm not super excited to see if Unknown can get something crazy out. It's going to be a super tough climb for them, so, best of luck, I guess. I'm Mike Loris, been joined by General Jivicus, guys. We'll be right back in just a bit.